What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going for Game 14 in the Premier League, starting off with Ipswich against Crystal Palace. Up to a 2-1 win for Ipswich. Palace won 1-0. So a very even game. Palace were just able to take their chance. Ipswich weren't able to do the same. They did have a few. Greaves at the post, they had a chance from a corner as well, but Mateta, what a finish, man. That guy, for a 6'4" man to move like he does. The French R9 strikes again. Brilliant goal. And it gave Crystal Palace the first away win of the season. Ipswich are still winless at home. Leicester City against West Ham United. Ruud van Nistelrooy's first game in charge of the Foxes, and it was a brilliant start for him. Vardy is just too good. He scores yet another first goal for a new manager. 2 minutes is all it took him as well, man. He is just elite. West Ham did have a lot of shots. Hermansen was forced into quite a few good saves, but West Ham did have a goal disallowed at 1-0, which was really soft. It was poor goalkeeping from Hermansen in my opinion. He was lucky to get away with it. El Khanous though had a brilliant game. He's not shown a lot in my opinion so far during his time at Leicester, but in this game, goal and an assist, he was running the show. And with that being said, Facundo Buonanotte, who usually does it, wasn't really on it in this game. It was a bit disappointing. He is my boy. Obviously he's a young player. You're going to have bad games. And he'll bounce back. The West Ham fans will tell him, look, Piggy's getting sacked in the morning. He has to go, he is terrible. Everton against Wolves, this was meant to be an El Sakiko. It was all Everton, 4-0 win. Young scored a beautiful free kick. Mangala scored his first goal for the club since signing on loan in the summer. Craig Dawson then decided that he's going to join the movement to get O'Neill sacked and scored 2 own goals. And yeah, both own goals came from Everton set pieces. Wolves might be the worst team I've ever seen at defending them. The amount of goals they concede from set pieces and crosses is mental. Manchester City against Nottingham Forest. I thought this was going to be a tricky game for Man City, considering their recent form, but they dominated. Belgian excellence, De Bruyne and Doku were both unbelievably good in this game. Goal and assist for a pair. Jeremy got the assist for De Bruyne's goal with a belter. Both of them scored belters, man. Doku's goal at the end of the game, or towards the end of the game, I guess. It was only in the 60th minute, but it was an absolute screamer. I love watching him cut inside, man. His decision making is improving, and with Grealish as well, who was fantastic in the midfield role as well. Doku had the chance to cut inside a little bit more, and we saw a different level to his game. But them three, all of them, big round of applause deserved, because they've all been out with injury, but they just came back and were fantastic. Could have been a completely different game though, because Chris Wood missed a sitter at 1-0. He always seems to miss against Manchester City. Did it last season at the City ground. Murillo also went really close with the screamer. He will get one this season. He'll get 5 this season, I'm telling you, man. He is going close every game. Newcastle United against Liverpool. This was a complete robbery, I can't lie. The first half was all Newcastle. They completely dominated. The Liverpool midfield were getting smothered by Tonali, Bruno and Joel Linton. Alexander Isak was running the show. He provided so many good chances for his teammates. He scored a belter himself. Anthony Gordon should have made it 2-0, but missed a one-on-one. Van Dijk should have then got sent off for shoulder charging him. Gomez was really poor, he couldn't live with him. Murphy missed a really good chance. Nunes missed 2 really good chances. They paid £80 million for him, man. They could have got Isak, who is 10 times the player. You know what, I was disrespectful. He's 100 times the player Nunes will ever be. That attack, once again, far too reliant on Mohamed Salah. 2 goals and an assist for him. I don't think there's a better player in world football than him right now. 2 of the Liverpool goals were caused by poor Newcastle passes though. And they should have had a penalty as well at 2-2 when Isak got fouled by Quansah in the box. They equalised right at the end of the game with a horrible Kelleher mistake, but they should have had the opportunity to make it 4-3. The referee blew the whistle. I know it had gone past 95 minutes, but there's always a bit of added time on after that because a goal happened around that time. I believe there was a VAR check, and a couple seasons ago at Anfield, it was 1-1, 5 minutes added on. Liverpool were allowed to play until the 98th minute, until they got their winner. So it's very sus. You know, and also the penalty shout. Liverpool got 2 much softer penalties last season at Anfield. So it does look a bit corrupt, I can't lie. It's just a shame Newcastle can't play like this every game, man, because if they did, they would be in a title race. Southampton against Chelsea, I predicted 4-1. Jadon Sancho ruined it by scoring right at the end of the game. But this is the benefit of Chelsea's transfer strategy, man. They had so many good players that haven't played a lot this season that were just brought into the team for this game. Like Nkunku. How can you have a player as good as Nkunku just sitting on the bench, man? It's incredible squad depth that Chelsea have. Could have been a different game though. Reba missed a sitter at 0-0. He did equalise at 1-0. At Southampton again, the architects of their own downfall. Lumley had a horror game. Jack Stevens got a red card for pulling Cucurella's hair. You can't do that in this day and age. What are you thinking, man? Chelsea could have had double figures in this game. They missed so many good chances, but they created so many good chances as well. And they just accumulated the highest ever XG of an away team in the Premier League. I hate saying this, but I actually do think they're in a title race. Arsenal against Manchester United, predicted 2-goal Arsenal win. Man United were actually okay defensively and in the midfield. They weren't too bad, but up front they were toothless. Mainly because Saliba and Kivior were both absolutely unreal. As were Timber and Zinchenko, they both played really well as well. Speaking of Timber and Saliba both scored. Timber with his first ever goal for the club. Declan Rice as well, unbelievable. I love seeing him play as the 8-man. He was brilliant on his corners, got the assist for Timber, but his ball carrying, oh my god, I love watching that guy. He's my favourite player in the Premier League, man, I don't care. Mikel, please, if you're going to play Marino, play Rice as the 8, I beg. Stop making him play 6. And yeah, the only thing Raya had to do was make one save from a Delict header, a really good save, by the way, at 1-0. But Marcus Rashford came off the bench and gifted Arsenal with a second goal by just kicking the ball out for a corner for no reason. What is he doing, man? Aston Villa against Brentford, I predicted this perfectly. It was a blistering first half from the Villains. They scored 3 goals. Rodgers and Watkins especially were fantastic. As was Kamara in the midfield, he was running things in there. Janelt just could not do anything with him in there. And the only reason it was even as modest as it was is because Flecken made multiple great saves. He was probably Brentford's man of the match despite conceding 3 goals. The amount of saves he had to make, he should have been more than this. He should have been 5 or 6. Man. Brentford still winless on the road, despite being unbeaten at home. And they're a proper football manager team. This is football manager form. Fulham against Brighton. I did get this one horribly wrong. Bruggen had an absolute shocker, gave Fulham their first goal with just a really stupid pass. Although after that point they were the better team, Brighton, until half-time. And in the second half, Fulham started really well. Brighton levelled it for a believer screamer. He has turned into a top player. But Alex Iwobi scored yet another belter, man. He is turning into the Premier League's most underrated player. He'll play anywhere you ask him to. And he's played in central midfield, he's played in attacking midfield, right wing, left wing. Wherever, he doesn't care. He is so good, man. He's showing so much maturity, you know, his attitude is just top notch. He's so hard working now. And finally, Bournemouth against Tottenham. I predicted a 2-1 Bournemouth win. They won 1-0. They should have won by a lot more than that though. Solanke missed the first big chance of the game against his former club. Tottenham yet again conceding from a corner. They just cannot defend set pieces. They are so bad at it. They're like Wolves in that regard, man. And without Forster, this would have been embarrassing, man. It could have been 4-5-0 to Bournemouth. And they also skied a few opportunities as well. Like, genuinely, this should not have been close at all. Dean Heisen, though, the young, I guess, Spanish-Dutch defender, brilliant, man. He was so good. Dealt with Solanke really well. And at the end of the game, Tottenham fans were telling Postecoglou to F off and stuff. Is it deserved? I don't know. It's a bit harsh, but Tottenham have not been playing well, so I can understand their frustrations. That's what I thought of the game. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon for another video.